Look, everybody, it's two cheetah. Now, Notebook Girl, I believe these are your first ever cheetah. Well, welcome to it. Aren't they wonderful? Two males, adults, and the only other sort of semi-social cats that there are in the world. They'll be brothers, most likely. And we'll go a little bit closer just now. I just wanted to stop here as a sort of moment of discovery first and get an idea of them. Isn't that great? Oh, that's fantastic. And as I said, Notebook Girl, your first cheetah, which is marvellous. Laura, you ask a very valid question all the way from Alabama. You say, do cheetah ever jump on cars here like they do in the Masai Mara? Laura, they don't. You know, they don't have to. They have a lot of cover, and they also can get vantage from the termite mounds. The reason they do it there, I think, is for vantage points. We also don't see them nearly as commonly here, and so they're not quite as habituated to the vehicles as they are over there. Apart from jumping on the cars quite often to get vantage points over the wide plains there, they also, of course, use those vehicles for shade quite a lot. Now, while it might be an advantage for a cheetah to get into or to jump up onto a car in this particular area, because there is a plain here, in most parts of this ecosystem, it's largely woodland. And so for them to jump up on a car is just going to provide them with a slightly higher view of a wall of trees. I'm going to move slightly. I'm slightly dissatisfied with the position that we're in now. These look like very, very fat bellies, everyone. Oh. How's that, David? Don't say I'll never do nothing for you. Aye. Shannon, you want to know what I would do if one of these cheetah jumped on the car? Well, Shannon, I'd probably squeal like a small child to start with. And then I might become quite excited. It would depend on the cheetah's intention. Were the cheetah to find me something sort of eaten, I imagine I would be totally terrified beyond my wits. I think I would just be excited. I have viewed them on foot before, and they're generally very confiding. This is fantastic, isn't it? They are so fat. They've had a very nice meal, clearly. Now let's just reverse and we'll get them in the light. How's that? This is fantastic. They are starting to head south now towards Mala Mala. Look how tall they are. They're much taller than leopards. Now, while I move, and you want to know their age, you know, I'm so inexperienced with cheetah, I don't actually know, other than for condition. So, lions and leopards, colour and their skin condition and all that sort of thing, you can tell. But with these guys, I don't actually know. I don't know how long we're going to be able to be here, just in case they do cross, and I know that there are now one or two other sites. There you are, Davy. Isn't that fantastic? Margaret, you ask a very good question. Do cheetah climb trees in the same way that leopards do? No, they don't. But they do climb a little bit. So if a tree has got sort of a slope on it, for example, they can run up that, but they don't have the claws in the same way that a leopard has claws. So, for example, Dave, that tree that this cheetah's going past now, look, Dave, on the tree there, just sharpening the claws and marking territory. That is just brilliant. See, spraying, marking territory. Now watch, onto the log, Dave. How fantastic is that, everyone? You don't see that every day. And this is the kind of tree that a cheetah will climb. Well, watch out, buddy. Your brother might just whiff your face there by mistake. This is just fantastic, eh? Chaps, you don't see this every day. This really is spectacular. Anna-Marie, you say you want to know if there are any others around here because we see these two males quite a lot. Anna-Marie, we've seen tracks of a female, but this is the sort of dominant coalition here. And by dominant, I don't mean they're not. By dominant, I don't mean dominant like a male lion gets dominant. They are dominant in so much as there aren't any other male cheetah around the place. But they will move, and this territorial marking that they're doing is very much temporary. So they don't often, they won't sort of mark territory in a permanent way, in the same way that a lion will. So it's possible that others might come into this area. But these guys are the territorial males. This is just fantastic. Look, marking territory now. Don't know which one to look at. An angel lady make exactly the correct comment. You say their heads are so tiny. They are tiny. And they're tiny for a very good reason. They're tiny, angel lady, because they are so very specially adapted to not being, at least for speed. And that small head is an adaptation for that. It means that the jaw can be slightly smaller. And for the jaw to be smaller, it means that they carry less weight, they can be faster. Isn't this brilliant? Oh, two cheetah walking across the open clearing. So, unlike with a leopard, for example, everybody, you've got a situation where the leopard's got it's got a massive head because it's got much bigger jaw muscles, but that doesn't inevitably make it slower. It's unable, the cheetah's completely specialized for speed, whereas a leopard is specialized for kind of stalking and that sort of thing. And so you find this very small head with much smaller canines, a much bigger nasal cavity, but it is just simply part of the fact that they are adapted for speed. Curious one. I don't know the answer to your question. You want to know if the scent marking smells still like buttered popcorn. I don't know, curious one. I haven't smelt it. We can go back towards those trees now and have a whiff, if we like. This is too wonderful. And Zahir, you say you're marking like that. animals are here. That's not uncommon. It's simply because they just don't do it very often, and because they are temporarily territorial. So in the absence of other predators giving them trouble, they will be territorial. But if other predators give them trouble, if there's too much lion pressure, if there's too much leopard pressure or hyena pressure, then you'll find that these cheetah will... I'm just going to stop here for a second. I think this might be the best spot. Oh, I think there's a termite mound there. Dave, let's go and head around there. I think they're going to go onto the termite mound. Tammy, you want to know if cheetah are anything like house cats? And that might seem like an odd question, but they actually are. Not entirely unlike house cats in that they purr, which is very unusual, of course, for a big cat. They will domesticate. Actually domesticate quite nicely, just like a house cat will domesticate. And Genghis Khan, of course, famously had a stable of cheetahs at one stage that he used as hunting dogs. You can believe it. A little bit further forward. Once they cross this road, I'm afraid, and Ergag, you want to know if their scat is as smelly as lion scat. Sorry, I've just got to get out of the way so these guys behind us can have a view. Ergag, I couldn't begin to tell you, I'm afraid. I don't know if they've got smelly scat or not. We'll go back to that tree, though, just now, and we'll actually have a smell of their urine and their scat. Yeah, I'm afraid I think they're going to cross south now. Oh, that's interesting. Have I got a misconception? Yeah, I'm going to run. And you want to know if female cheetah is solitary, and female cheetah are, yes, generally solitary in the same way that leopards are, but they're not quite as defensive over their territories. Like I say, in the absence of pressure from other predators, they tend to be very unterritorial. At least when there is pressure from other predators, they tend to be unterritorial. I just need to find out, everybody, if Mike needs to make his way in here, or where he is. In fact, I don't have to, I don't think. That's it, they're going on to Mala Mala. Let's get one last view. We'll try and get sort of round to the front of them. He doesn't like the look of the back there, everyone. Sorry, Dave, I know the angle's not great. What a treat. What an absolute treat. Yes, and they probably are, Louise makes a good point, Dave, they're probably afraid of your stomach grumbling.
I would be too.
it, I'm afraid, everyone. What an incredible treat. I suppose we can follow them while they're in the fire break here. And they seem to be heading largely towards the south. Let's maybe move a little further along. They've zoomed, can probably get a look. That might get something there. Gone to sleep. Perfect. Long lens, ideal. Mike, do you copy?